she kicks ass. She's like this cool soldier with the slick back hair. She's blowing frogs away, and they'd be like, "We don't need no man," and they try to find ways to like impregnate each other or something. Of course, they're gonna have pink cars.
Is that how you say it? Sandal?
Sandal, yeah.
Sandal?
Sandal.
So, Hell Comes to Frogtown. This is one I just kind of stumbled across and was like, hey, this is perfect for our show. And then I sent it over to you, Jamie, to see what you think of Hell Comes to Frogtown, starring Roddy Piper, who plays a man in a post-apocalyptic nuclear world where most of the population's been destroyed, and of the men that are living, few of them have potent enough sperm to impregnate women. And luckily for Roddy Piper, he has potent sperm. And so he is forcibly recruited by an agency to go rescue some virile women from a place called Frogtown, which is run by frog human hybrid kind of things. Frogs that
They're mutant frogs, yeah. They're like humanoid frogs, dude.
yeah. So I guess that's about sums it up, right?
That's pretty much it. It's a bizarre movie. I don't know where you found this. I don't know where you found this, dude. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's got Roddy Piper, and he's pretty good in this. I don't think he's like the best actor in the world, but I think the movies he did were good for him, right? So he's kind of this brash guy who's got, his little fellas can swim, which is a big deal in this post-apocalyptic world, because most of the men are gone, and of the men that exist, only a few of them can make babies. So he's desired, and of course, all the women in this movie are like hot, right?
Of course,
It's
yeah.
post-apocalypse, there's probably not a lot of food around, and it's probably irradiated or whatever, but still all the chicks are hot
Somehow
because we don't have any
radiation makes women gorgeous in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no like normal homely looking chicks around. They're all hotties.
Yeah.
But yeah, they recruit him to go to Frogtown to save a bunch of like women who've been enslaved there from frog people, and they're real like frog people. I I was kind of impressed with the frogs though, because they were pretty cool. I mean, they look like frogs, right? The special effects were done by a guy named Steve Wong, who's done a lot of stuff over the years, and he did all the frog makeup for only like $12,000. Can you believe that?
That is crazy, because I agree. The frog outfits that they had were really well done. Like, for a cheesy B movie that this is, I was really impressed with them.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. So I think this film had like a $1 million budget, and that's why they had to like do a rewrite on it, because they're like, man, we don't have a lot of money. They're an organization of like warrior nurses from this organization called MedTech. Like, they're nurses, but they're super militarized nurses. Like, they're badass.
Yeah.
So they send two women in this pink car. It's a pink car with like guns at the top. So it's obviously got this weird femme thing going on, which maybe I don't quite get, but they send two women. So the first kind of the main love interest, she's played by Sandal Bergman. Do you recognize her?
She looks vaguely familiar. Should I recognize her from something that we've seen?
Yeah, so she's done a lot of sword and sorcery stuff. So she was in the movie, remember Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah,
She was Valaria, like Conan's girlfriend.
that's
And
it. Yeah.
right, and then she was in the movie which is another kind of sword and sorcery. And then she was in Red Sonja. She was like the main bad guy queen. So she had
Mm.
done a lot of that kind of sword and sorcery stuff. And she has these dance scenes, and she's really good at dancing because she's a dancer. She's really a dancer, like in real, like that's why she's good at
The Dance
dancing.
of the Three Snakes.
Yeah. She did a lot of dancing in this movie, but she didn't get nude because she was contractually obligated to not be nude. They left that to Cease Varel, who played the soldier girl, the soldier nurse.
Yeah, she was cool.
And she had a brief nude scene, which was fine with me because that whole Cease Varel warrior soldier nurse thing totally worked for me.
You're
I
like, you
had a
can
little
dominate
crush.
me any day, honey.
I'll follow you into battle for reals.
Yeah.
But so the three of them, they go out into the desert on their way to 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 Frogtown, and they meet the old guy, but they meet the old guy. There's an old guy there, and there's frog people. There's frog people.
We should mention the way they get Roddy Piper's character, who by the name is named Sam Hell. The way they get
That's why
Sam
it's
Hell,
hell
yeah, Hell
goes to
goes to
right.
Frogtown. And so the way they get him to participate in this adventure that he doesn't really want to is because they put a metal thing around his genitalia area
Like a
that
high tech chastity belt kind of
basic,
thing.
yeah, and they tell him that it will explode if anybody tries to if they tries to take it off. And when he gets far enough away from Sandra Bergman's character Spangle, when he gets
Spangle,
far enough
yeah.
away from Spangle, it zaps his junk, so he's not allowed to run away. And but he can't. There's a flap, as we find out in the scene where Jamie's new girlfriend tries to seduce him, and and she's like, "Well, how does this thing work?" And he's like, "There's a flap," and it's like, "Flop." And that's the way he's able to get it on with girls. Is the flap flips up?
Yeah, but everybody's all diggity. All the women, of course, want to get with him.
Yeah.
So Spangle and Sentinella is Cease Farrell's. That's her character. They all want it, and then they find this, but they kind of don't. They kind of want to, but they stop each other from doing it. Whatever. I got the feeling that this film was they they did a lot of holding back.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that made it rated R was Cease Farrell's short boob scene. Otherwise, it probably would have been PG-13. I
I
think they
kind of
really held
agree.
back. And according to what I was reading, the original script was much raunchier and a lot more like nudity and violence. I wonder if it would have been better or worse if it was made that way, because this has got a very TV made for TV vibe to it.
Mm.
Then I think the only thing that makes it rated R is one brief booby scene, so they
Yeah,
can claim rated Rness.
yeah, because there's a bit of shooting and stuff, but there's nothing too majorly violent, especially for, American-made movies. But yeah, you've got a lot of sexual innuendo going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, Sandal Bergman, she is that how you say it? Sandal,
Sandal, yeah,
Sandal.
Sandal.
Yeah, she was. They wanted her to do that Dance of the Three Snakes nude, but she was like, nope. In my contract, fellas, not happening.
Yeah, leave that to cease, which is fine with me. I'd like to, she wanted to do more nude scenes. If
Yeah.
Sentinella wanted to do more nude scenes, that'd have been. But she kicks ass. She's like this cool soldier with the slick back hair. She's blowing frogs away.
Oh,
She's probably
totally.
my favorite character in this movie for sure.
Yeah. They have a moment though where they're in the desert and they find a girl that escaped from Frogtown and she's basically mentally unstable at this point because for treatment. So what do? They drug her to make her like hot and in the mood and then, and then force Sam Hell to have sex with her.
Yeah, this is 1988.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another one of those things that'll probably never be made today.
Yeah.
Um,
But
Definitely
I like
not
the
good.
I like the quote. Hey, you try making love to a complete stranger in a hostile mutant environment.
Yeah.
And he says,
The struggle is real.
yeah. It's like, what? Okay, I get that you drugged her. Now she's ready and in the mood, but you know, gotta force me to do it.
Yeah. So speaking of like, so the Sentinel, I've been talking about her because I got a little thing on her. Do you know who was briefly considered to play her?
Uh-uh.
Pam Grier.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So she probably would have been good in that because she does a lot of that kind of soldier kick-ass action star kind of stuff. So that would have been interesting. I think that would have worked too.
Yeah, yeah, I think either of them worked. I think something about this film that I think is fun though is like they have just all these really fun little scenes, like the opening sequence with the guy that's kind of torturing Sam Hell, the who we've actually seen in other stuff, William Smith, and
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like all pissed at him because Sam Hell had sex with his daughter, and the scene where Sam is being tortured and the frog that's torturing him gets out the chainsaw to cut off the metal plate to route his junk, and Sam's like, no, 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 it'll explode, and you just see this chainsaw kind of starting up, and there's a lot of little humorous moments in it that I think are kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, and that dad, he's kind of one of the antagonists, and you can tell he's like, I don't like this woman dominated world. Women should know their place, which I doesn't really work if like they outnumber you like 8 to 1 or something. Right?
Yeah,
It's like, well, women are gonna take over the world if most of the people are women. You're gonna have, but I think they went kind of weird with with the soldier nurses with the pink
with
cars
the pink car.
because they're girls, right? They're women, of course. Even if they have like, of course they're gonna have pink cars, even though they're military grade weapon cars. They're still gonna be pink because they're women, right?
Yeah,
I
of
don't
course.
think so.
Of
Yeah.
course. Come on, dude. You know that's what's going to happen. I'm surprised their rifles and guns weren't painted pink.
This is the 80s for sure.
Oh yeah.
Because if this were made today, there wouldn't even be a man. This would be all women, and they'd be like, we don't need no man. And they'd try to find ways to like impregnate each other or something. But did you know this is the last film? Do you know to be shot? Do you know this place called the Indian Dunes Movie
Yeah.
Ranch?
Yeah. Because wasn't a scene from like Star Trek was filmed there, right?
Yeah, and that scene where he's fighting the main bad guy Frog at the end
Mhm.
was filmed at that same one where Kirk fought the Gorn. I
Yeah.
think they probably did that on purpose because you got the hero fighting kind of a reptile. So they totally like, we're gonna do that. But the Dunes Ranch, movie ranch, was this huge ranch within 30 miles of Hollywood. I guess if you're within 30 miles of Hollywood, you still get the benefits
Mm.
of being in Hollywood from whatever government agency. I don't know how it works, but if you're within 30 miles, then you still get benefits. And so this was a big, Indian Dunes was a big ranch, and they did a lot of filming. A lot of films went there to do filming, and this was the last one that filmed there before the owner sold it and they plowed it. And now it's a big housing development. A bunch of
Oh,
people live there now in houses.
lame.
Totally lame, but I thought that was an interesting kind of fact that this strange movie was the last one filmed at that kind of famous location, and
Yeah.
it was only shot in 19 days, by the way.
Yeah, that's
Can you believe that?
impressive. A super short budget, shot in only a little over a couple weeks, and to get so much in that of a type of a film is pretty quite impressive. Like you said, the good special effects with the makeup, the fight sequences, the pink car. Yeah, they did all right with it.
Yeah. So I had no idea this movie existed. This is why I like this, because sometimes we'll be on the lookout for just some really really weird movies, and this is one of them. This is a
Mm.
weird movie, dude. It's like Mad Max, but like holding back Mad Max, but with frog people.
I
Frog
don't know
people,
how
dude.
to
And
describe.
they're and I didn't know they were gonna be real frog people. I thought
Yeah,
maybe they were just kind of mutant people, kind of look like frogs because maybe they're just all jacked up, but they were actual frogs. Like they were maybe they were mutated frogs who became humans or something, or maybe they
that has to be
humans
the
were mixed
storyline. Yeah, I
because they
think
look like big frogs.
yeah, I think they're mutated, but I don't know. The one lady frog really had a thing for Sam Hell as well.
Yeah,
She was
and she
trying to
was
get herself some human action.
yeah. Do you know who? So, uh, actress by the name of Christy Summers played that frog girl,
Mhm.
Arabella, and it took her 3 hours each day to get that makeup on, and it took a half hour to get it off every single day. So, Christy Summers, if you can hear us, because we know you're listening, we're really proud of you. Because that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
Christy Summers. She did a lot of kind of B-ish movies, but she was also a television actress. So she made appearances, a lot of appearances in television.
Well, so what do you, what's your rating? I'm curious to hear your thumbs up or thumbs down on this one.
So I have to give it a thumbs up, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's it's so weird. This movie's so weird. It's like Mad Max with frog people, and it's got it wants to have that rated R raunchy vibe, but it holds back, which kind of works in a way because if you take that one titty scene out, it's like could be a made for TV kind of thing. Because that's where in this Indian Dunes kind of place they did a lot of TV shows, action stunts, and all that. It really had that kind of made for TV vibe. I don't. I have to give it a thumbs up. It's just so bizarre that I have to like this movie. I don't know why though. How about you?
Oh, I'm definitely thumbs up on this. It's utterly ridiculous. Yeah, Mad Max, but maybe if they had dropped a little acid when making Mad Max, I don't know. But yeah, it's fun in its ridiculousness, and when they were making it, they had to have been like, this is just ridiculous. So let's just enjoy it for how weird it is. And I think that comes through. And like I said, I like some of the scenes and some of the dialogue and the one-liners are totally cheesy, but work really well. And you know, I thought it was a lot of fun. This is what I enjoy about 80s era post-apocalyptic cheesy B movies.
Mm-hmm.
These
Yeah.
kind of films right here are perfect. Stupid, but they know they're stupid. You can accept them for the low budget, but it actually turned out well with the effects and the performances and everything.
Yeah, and everything is practical
Mhm.
effects. Like they make B movies now, but there's two problems with it. One, they're a little too purposefully B, and two, it's all like bad CGI. So the B movies nowadays just aren't fun. They're just not as fun at all. I mean, Steve Wong and his $12,000 for this frog for these frogs, man, that's a good job, Steve. Good job, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's not too long. It's only an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And modern movies are 2 3 hours long, and even the attempt at B movies nowadays are longer than all heck. And it's like,
Everything's
no, it's just a nice short movie. Not there's no deep plot. It's you know
no, it doesn't get if you don't have to expend too much brain power for this
not
one
at
at
all.
all.
Yeah. I want to know, like, why so if Sam Hell, here's my question though. If Sam Hell is like one of the few people with like super sperm, why are they sending him into Frogtown? They should be like keeping him in the base and sending other not super
It
sperm
should be
guys to go get the women
sentient.
and bring them back, you know?
Sentinella looks like she can go do it herself.
Just
She got a
fine.
big gun and her hair slicked back. She go waste some frogs, get the girls, come back, and he can have a nice little orgy. I don't know why they're
Absolutely.
sending. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
It's dumb, so
You're gonna
dumb.
you're gonna risk your
You're gonna risk like the one of
repopulator.
few guys. Yeah, come on. That's just ridiculous. But
It's
it's
so
so dumb that
funny.
you don't even question it. You're like,
You don't.
whatever.
It's just, of
In
course,
this
that's the
world,
way it
they
would
would
be.
totally do that because this world is ridiculous. So go watch it, peeps. If you're in the mood for a Friday night popcorn flick and you don't want to think too much, grab yourself some soda pop, whatever. Go watch this on Tubi, and it'll be fun. That's my recommendation. If you got
You'll
nothing else to do this weekend, that's
absolutely
what we
100%.
that's what we do.
It was an hour and a half well spent.